race at speeds of up to 40 miles per hour. But these greyhounds are running out of time. London's last dog track is closing down.
If we keep selling off all our facilities, all we'll end up with is blocks of flats, and there won't be anywhere for people to go and enjoy themselves. We'll all have to sit at home looking at computer screens.
Wimbledon opened in 1928, and it's been home of the big money derby race for more than 30 years. And at one time, there were more than 20 dog tracks in the capital. A working man's sport, a place for a pie, a beer and a bet.
It's a shambles, but unfortunately, there's not that much call for it as there was 20, 30 years ago, so you have to move with the times.
I think it's quite sad, but to be fair, it's been here a number of years and we've only made use of it twice in all that time.
Rising land prices, online gambling and animal cruelty complaints have all helped sound the death knell. The track will now make way for a new 11,000-seater football stadium for third-tier club AFC Wimbledon, plus 600 homes. Developers say it will benefit Londoners for generations to come. But that's no consolation for race lovers.
The passion, the heart will go out of racing for a little while. It will come back, it will pick up and other tracks, but this will be a big wrench when this track goes. And I hope the people that are closing it sleep easy.
Some dogs will continue racing at tracks outside the capital, others will be retired and rehomed. But as the punters head for the exit and Wimbledon closes its doors for the final time, one thing's for sure, nobody in London will be going to the dogs.
Well, joining us now is broadcaster Tony Lockwood, who is at the races on the final night. Tony, thank you so much for joining us. Now, you were there. What was the mood like? I can imagine it was only quite sad, really.
It was sad, but it was special. I haven't been to Wimbledon in many years and saw the amount of people packed outside. It took us over an hour to get in. It was a very special night, a feeling of resignation, but the bars were busy, the food outlets were busy, the bookmakers were taking plenty of money, and I think people wanted to turn up, realising that this was the last time we'd see dog racing in the capital, and they wanted to mark the occasion in style, and they did, because there were thousands upon thousands, and I think for those people who turned up, it will be a sport sadly missed from London.
Yeah, the last hurrah, so to speak. Now, what was the attraction about a night out at the races? Why did you, for example, like to go to these races?
Well, I took my son, so it's fun, it's family friendly. In terms of the price for admission and a race day programme at £7, I think that represents tremendous value for money compared to other sporting events. And if you want to pay some more money, you can be wined and dined. You can have people put your bet on for you. There are 12 races, so I think it's good entertainment. It's a good evening out. There's never any trouble. There's good access, car parking, well priced. So I think that, for me, as a father, it's a lovely night out in London.
So why then do you think that greyhound racing has declined in recent years in London? Why has it lost so much popularity?
I think there's so much choice now. I think the serious gambler that used to go greyhound racing after the Second World War, for example, when there were millions and millions of people attending greyhound racing in the United Kingdom, they can now watch that in a betting shop. There's online gaming. There are so many other sports. And I think in a way, greyhound racing hasn't moved with the times. Here in the UK, we've seen snooker and darts and boxing. They've been rebranded. They've been given a new image. Greyhound racing hasn't changed. And I think that's the problem in itself, that things have moved on. And in a way, the sport's been left from as it was many years ago. But there is, for me, as a greyhound goer, a degree of sadness that we're not going to see it again within London.
Do you think then that there could be some sort of change going into the future, that they could try to bring it into these modern times, as you say, like those other sports?
I think it's very unlikely. The reason being that if you look at the price of land within our capital city, it's financially prohibitive. Anywhere you go on London, they're building homes and they're building flats. For greyhound racing to compete and compare with that, I think it's going to be extremely difficult. So the reality is that anyone in London has to go to Romford in Essex or has to go down to the south coast to Hove near Brighton to watch greyhound racing. So sadly, from my point of view, we saw Walthamstow go in 2008. We've seen Wimbledon go last weekend. I can't see a situation where racing is going to return to the capital city.
Well, Tony, thank you very much for your insight. Lovely to speak with you.